Hello lit class, I just wanted to show you this video game that I was talking about in class today. It's probably the most educational game I've seen, and I play a lot of games. And yeah, we'll just get started. I played a little bit earlier today, but I didn't get very far, so I'm not really too heartbroken to start a new game.
August 1st, 1914. After the assassination of Prince Franz Ferdinand of the Austro-Hungarian Empire, the German Empire declares war on Russia. Because of established alliances, France is preparing for conflict. A few hours after the announcement of the general mobilization, German civilians living in France are asked to leave the country. Karl is one of them. A few days after Karl was deported, the war was hungry for more and took away Emil as well. A heavy-hearted Emil was called up to fight and left the farm for Samuel. Like so many others, he had no idea what fate had in store for him.
This is definitely really cool because it doesn't. Any other game that I've played doesn't really, capture the aspect of actually enlisting in the war or any like fighting. And this is really neat too. I didn't realize how in depth it goes, but it really does go very in depth, and it shows actual images and gives you straight on facts. It's really cool. Like, I am very satisfied with this game because it's really cool if you could incorporate it in this classroom. Like, obviously you wouldn't be able to play the whole game, but it might be relatively short and would still serve as like a great like visual aid. Because it's just like a graphic novel almost. One other thing I noticed that was really neat, that later on you get into Germany, and you see the different languages they're actually spoken. And typically in video games they don't really exercise this. It's really neat to hear the other languages actually say something in their language rather than being interpreted like a movie you would watch typically. And this is like the basic tutorial of the game as you're training almost.
My dear Marie, we are on our way to Paris. The atmosphere here is strangely cheerful. I hope that the harvest goes well. Rely on our neighbors for help. They've always been gracious and charitable people. I'll write again as soon as I get my assignment. Please kiss my little grandson for me.
Yeah, you definitely don't get that kind of aspect
At the
in
train
any other
depot
video
in
game,
Paris,
for sure.
trying to reach his regiment at Platform 21, Emile would meet the man he would soon fight alongside. The man who would come to be his truest friend.
And that's the other thing too, is I didn't really realize before, is it kind of like combats an idea of racism, almost. It's kind of like showing that it might have been apparent in that time, and it obviously wasn't really accepted. Is it like a major puzzle game? So you gotta figure out, oh, I gotta give him wine. He doesn't like the red wine. So you gotta get him the white wine. You have to like be observant, I guess, which isn't really the idea of what you're trying to teach, but at the same time, they're definitely understanding a sense of atmosphere, which is kind of cool. And this area kind of took me a minute to figure out, but basically, you have to do them in order. It's me playing. I screwed it up. I'm gonna silver dig it, so now you can go right up. Same ones. It's just really cool because this is one of the most accurate video games as well. Like typically in Call of Duty, they'll jump to, yeah, Call of Duty is the only other one I can think of that's like World War II, that will just jump to certain dates, and it's not really following the transition between an actual person.
August 21st, 1914. Emile's regiment was sent to fight against the 71st German Division, led by Baron von Dorf. The general cheer of the first hours dissipated into the fear of first combat.
I haven't really looked up if these guys are real dudes, the commanders at least, because this guy's probably made up. But the commander might be real, which would be really cool if he was. It's almost like a comic book. It's very neat. And this is all me playing. Like dodging the rockets. It's kind of neat because this isn't rated M, which typically is what games are usually rated out of an ERSB rating. This is rated E, or actually it might be rated T. But anyway, it doesn't show like the vulgar aspects of war and the idea of like blood and gore, but it kind of shows you an aspect of this guy is losing his family, and it was definitely a really hard time.
Miss Marie Chillon. Private Emile Chillon from the 150th Infantry Regiment was wounded by enemy fire on August 21st. He has been captured by the enemy. Hopefully, You shall receive news from him soon. Freddy, originally from America, enlisted voluntarily in the French forces at the start of the war. Behind his bravery hid a man already devastated by the war's effects. A man with one sole obsession: punish those who had destroyed his life. It was at the Battle of the Marne that Freddy finally picked up the trail of the regiment commanded by Baron von Dorf.
But basically, that's all I really wanted to show. It's just really neat because you play as 4 different characters eventually, and each character is of a different country, and to show that they're all similar. They have like different abilities, like the other guy can shoot, and it's just really neat to show a different aspect. Obviously, I don't know if these people are real, but it definitely shows you a sense of environment, and it gives you a good idea to see what it might have been like to be in a war, and to see brother fighting brother. Like if you saw in the last scene where the guy recognized, they recognized each other. Well, the one didn't recognize the other because he was knocked out, but that's basically all I wanted to show you guys, and hope you enjoyed the video.